Dracula Hunter. Dracula Hunter was an arcade game from 1979 that seems really difficult to come by. In its day, it was popular in Japan but had little to no success anywhere else in the world. It's a Space Invader type shooter, where the objective is to kill bats and vampires, but the gameplay is notable for allowing the player to freely move around in all parts of the screen, not just left and right at the bottom like in Space Invaders or Galaxian. Even in Japan, the game is pretty hard to find, especially if you're looking for a full cabinet. One was listed on a Yahoo auction site in 2018, but it's unknown if someone actually bought it. Columbia vs. Princeton 1939 baseball game. Of all the sports lost media, this has to be one of the most sought after. The baseball game between Columbia and Princeton has quite a bit of historical significance, and it's amazing that something like it could just slip through the cracks. It was quite experimental. It was chosen by NBC to be the first sporting event ever to be broadcast on television in the US, and the idea proved to be successful. Technically, the second game in a doubleheader was the one that was broadcast, and it paved the way for other sports to be broadcast on TV, which could be the reason why team fan bases are larger than they've ever been. If only people that go to the game can watch it, you're limited in viewership. For the modest price of about 60 grand in today's money, NBC was able to set up one single camera in front of the stadium to record footage and air it live. As televisions weren't super reliable though, the visual quality and how viewers could even tell what was going on was inconsistent at best, and only a small portion of the footage of this event can even be watched today.
Wait a minute. Your evil school plot is tomorrow night's dance?
Oh, yeah, sure, Ben. To you, it's just a dance. You're a guy.
From head to toe. So?
See this dress? Nice, eh?
Yeah.
$200. This one, $350.
$350? But it's made with, like, tissue paper.
I know.
You can practically see through it. Hey, you can practically see through it.
Fries with That. Fries with That was a Canadian sitcom that aired on YTV in 2004, about people working at a fast food restaurant called Bulky's. From the mundane concept and cheesy humor, it's not difficult to see why the show wasn't preserved well. The show had no home media releases and very few reruns, and that usually translates to a lot of lost episodes. That's no different here. In fact, after YTV stopped airing reruns in 2010, the whole show was lost. A YouTuber uploaded the episodes to his channel in 2013, and after those got deleted for copyright reasons, the show was up in the air. Only a handful of episodes exist on YouTube today, uploaded by various people. Just Mail Us the Grammy. Back before they became well known, Rhett and Link were still musicians in their own right, even when they worked as engineers. In 2001, they released the album Just Mail Us the Grammy, with 11 songs. 5 of them are lost, 5 of them are available on YouTube, and part of one of the songs played on a 2014 episode of their podcast Ear Biscuits. This album never got an iTunes release, although some of the individual songs did. It's unlikely that Rhett and Link themselves would release the album, so unless you happen to have the CD, it's very unlikely that the lost songs will ever be found.
For deer, prancing season begins in early spring.
The following is a test. Johnny Test. He's a willing test subject.
Give me the keys to your big drill atomic earth drill thingy.
You can have the keys if you do us one tiny scientific favor.
You want me to eat salt?
Too much female growth hormone.
Most of you have heard of Johnny Test, and for those that haven't, it was a Canadian cartoon that aired from 2005 to 2014 that aired on Teletoon in Canada and Kids WB and later Cartoon Network in the United States. As with a lot of shows, the first episode isn't the only pilot, as a pitch pilot was produced in 2004. It was animated in Flash and has an entirely different cast aside from Johnny's voice actor James Arnold Taylor. The actual show is noted as using more Canadian voice actors, while the pilot used more American voice actors. Currently, the pilot is lost and all that exists is a promo showing footage of the pilot and one still from the pilot. Some changes that I was able to pick out were Dookie being called Poochie, Bling Bling Boy being called Golden Boy, and some voice changes, such as Susan clearly being voiced by Carolyn Lawrence. Brad and Gary. No, not that Brad and Gary. This was a short film made by Illumination in 2012, of Despicable Me fame, and released for the Real Shorts Film Festival. Here's the synopsis. This short film, created by director Pierre Coffin, is the story of Brad and Gary, two creatures living in an unknown world. The plot revolves around the big idea that joining forces to overcome one's shortcomings is the only way out, or in, or maybe out again. It's also a tale about friendships, its ups and downs, in and outs. This fresh look on solidarity was brought to life by the Illumination Mac Guff studio, the team behind the success of Despicable Me. It has only been shown at the Real Shorts Film Festival and was not released anywhere outside of that one airing. No footage is available, though a few stills are floating around online.
Bucky and Pepito, such a funny, funny pair. When anyone needs helping, they always lend a hand.
Bucky and Pepito was a 1959 cartoon that's generally regarded as one of the worst cartoons of all time. This is because of Mexican stereotyping being the primary characterization of Pepito. Also, the production values were pretty low even for the time. The show wasn't preserved very well, possibly because of this. A few episodes are available for purchase, and a couple are even available on a DVD called The Worst Cartoons Ever, but other than that, a lot of the episodes can't be watched today. Super Mario World. Super Mario World went through a lot of changes that differ from the game we know today. One of these versions, the 1989 build, is highly sought after. In 1990, some aspects of it were shown off in a magazine showing what differs from the final game. These include the game having only 16 levels and the raccoon leaf from Super Mario Bros. 3 actually returning, which obviously wasn't in the final game. There are quite a few screenshots out there, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it will be officially released by Nintendo. Dubstep Solves Everything 4. One of Jack's film's most iconic series was the Dubstep Solves Everything trilogy, in which Jack plays out scenarios through music in the titular genre. These videos garnered a lot of views and were generally received quite well. The last in the trilogy aired March 11, 2013, but even then it wasn't always planned to be just a trilogy. A fourth installment was planned and has been mentioned multiple times on Twitter, and Jack mentioned in a video that it would be animated. Since it's been 8 years since the video was rumored, it's likely been scrapped. It's unknown how far in production the video got.
Updates on Dubstep Solves Everything 4? Yes, the song is done. It's all up in my head, and I have to do that annoying process where I take it out of my head and put it on paper and then into speakers. But it's all done. It's just up here.
The YouTube dislike button. YouTube recently announced they'd be making dislike counts on videos invisible to everyone except the uploader. This move will have a massive impact on the site, possibly as much as the Google Plus integration many years ago. They say this move was made to decrease harassment, but considering things like YouTube's own videos having massive amounts of dislikes, or the amount of dislikes on Nintendo's online service video, it's possible this was done to protect the image of those in high places. Considering how out of touch YouTube is with its user base, this move wasn't surprising. But good or bad, this event will change the site and completely ruin some iconic videos. Only time will tell the success of this move and whether or not the decision gets reversed.